Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you do enjoy my video, make sure that you get subscribed to the channel. Also, click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos, and click on the like button. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me live at 4 p.m. most weekdays, or outside of my live streams, you can consider joining the Discord that I have created. There's a link for the description, or there's a link for that in the description below. Also, if you are looking for some ideas of the meals that we enjoy on our whole food plant-based diet, we created a Pinterest board that has a lot of those meals. There's a link for that in the description as well. Today is day 556 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 220 pounds. That's 100 kilos down. I have 18 more months to go. I hope to lose the remaining weight sooner than 18 months and then maintain throughout the end of the challenge. But I'm very happy with how things have been going so far, and I'm looking forward to the next 18 months. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I'd love to hear those. Shy's checking in saying, hey, Shy, I hope everything's going wonderful for you today, and I hope you had a great weekend. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your diets. If you are having trouble getting started or you're falling off track, what are you doing to get back on track, to get back on your diet, or to get started on your diet? And what things are you doing? What processes are you putting in place to make staying on your diet or getting started with your diet easier than the alternative? And I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I hope everybody had a great weekend, a great Mother's Day weekend. I had a long weekend, lots of traveling. I'll go into all of that here shortly, but I hope everybody is doing wonderfully. The last time I was on stream was my weigh-in for my 40th birthday, my official 18-month weigh-in, however you want to break it down. And it was awesome to get in here and to be under 300 pounds. Shy says you're off track on your diet. A change I made was having the foods I should be eating in the house instead of making excuses to not grocery shop. Yes, you got to have those healthy choices at your disposal, that when you do get hungry, that it's easier for you to just grab an apple or a banana or eat some rice out of the fridge or get a can of corn heated up than going and getting fast food or grabbing the junk food out of your cabinet. Absolutely. So yes, Thursday was my birthday. Awesome day, under 300 pounds. I didn't expect that I'd be under 300 pounds between last week's weigh-in and the weigh-in tomorrow already, which is just wild that I only gave myself 5 days to recover from my birthday, I guess, or 6, whatever. But I was excited. I'm very happy to be under 300 pounds. It's the first time I've seen that number in a very long time. And the last time I did see that number, I was taking a prescription phentermine to help suppress my appetite. And as soon as I quit taking that prescription, the appetite came right back, and I hadn't fixed my poor diet habits in that time that I lost that weight. So I feel extremely confident this time. And it's funny because at that time, 8 years ago, I would have said the same thing. I'm so confident I have this thing figured out. I'm going to eat this way the rest of my life. Well, what I didn't say in that is that I could eat that way the rest of my life as long as I could continue to take that medication the rest of my life. And my doctor said, hey, you've been taking this medication. I think it was like 9 months that I took that medication. At that point, he was like, you cannot continue to take the medication because it no longer is approved, or it's not approved for that length of time, or it could be dangerous to use it for that amount of time. And so this time I feel like this has been 100% me. There's no gimmicks. There's no pills. There's no shakes. There's no programs. It's just been me figuring out the best diet for me and the way to eat healthfully to get to a good weight. And I'm looking forward. Carrie says, hello, Mr. Fi. Hope everything's going great. I know you're going to be running around a lot today with kids. So I went home. We ended up for dinner. Carrie made us these falafel sandwiches. I'm not sure exactly what the name of them was. They were a recipe that a YouTube channel called Crocs in the Kitchen had released last week, and Carrie wanted to try them out. They were really good. It's something that I didn't take any photos. I don't know if Carrie took any photos, but the first sandwich I had, I used Ezekiel bread, put this lettuce that she had, like his lettuce wrap that she had purchased, falafel, and then there was onion, sliced tomato, which is something that I never would have put on a sandwich 18 months ago, and a dill sauce. It was the name of it was the quinoa falafel burgers with dill sauce, and they were awesome. The first one I had, I actually ate a bunch. I had as a sandwich. The second one I just wrapped in lettuce with the onion and the dill sauce, and then I ate one of the falafels with just dill sauce and no lettuce or tomato or onion. And I really enjoyed the meal. It was a nice flavor, and it was good to eat. Carrie says it was lettuce boats was the name of the lettuce. She had bought them at Walmart. She didn't know such a thing had existed. It was just big giant lettuce leaves, but they were called lettuce boats. And it was a great meal. One of the desserts that we have had over the past 18 months is a bean-based brownie that Carrie made those for kind of the cake for my wedding, or not my wedding, for my 40th birthday. And it was awesome. It was great to have the quinoa falafels and the brownies for dinner, and kind of hung out that night. I had some friends come over, kind of surprised me that they came over and we hung out for a little bit, but I had a very early morning Friday. I had a lot of traveling to do Friday, so we did not stay up too late or party too hard on my birthday. Like I said, Friday, I ended up getting up at like 3:30 in the morning. I had to be on the road by 4 a.m. to do a 4.5 hour to 5 hour travel across the state to meet with some people, and then spent the whole day kind of traveling, meeting with people on the way back. So I was on the road on Friday from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it was a long day. I was very tired by the end of the day, and I was thankful that I did take some food with me. I had planned that I was going to be on the road, so I knew I wouldn't be around any good food options throughout the trip. So I took 4 baked potatoes with me and a few oranges, and I'm trying to think if I had anything else. But by the end of the day, I was wishing that I would have brought more food with me. But like I said, it was nice to have something in the car with me, because when you stop at gas stations, they just don't have anything that I could eat, especially anything that is salt, oil, sugar free. Carrie, yes, that is what I ate the whole trip. I had gotten a bag of the Costco dehydrated mangoes. That was kind of like a birthday present. It was a surprise to me that they were at home when I got home on my birthday. And there was also some cashews that I took, the cashews and the 2.5 pound bag of mangoes throughout that, 18 hour day of driving. I ate probably over half that bag of the dehydrated mango throughout the day. And it's tough because I've always used food as a way to keep myself awake while driving. I suffered from sleep apnea pretty severely, starting in 2000. Essentially, didn't get diagnosed till 2007, but I have a lot of experience doing long driving with my company. And many times I would drive tired, and my solution for driving tired would be to grab an energy drink and eat food. And so I'd always have some sort of candy or snack food in the car that I would eat anytime I got tired. So on my trip Friday, I was thankful that I had those mangoes to eat. Shy says that you love baked potatoes. You miss sour cream. Yes, us too, Carrie says. So, Carrie has this faux sour cream that was made out of sunflower seeds, soy milk, lemon juice, garlic, and onion powder. I think one of the things that probably helps us to make that is that we do have a high-speed blender. You would need a blender to make that. But I don't think Carrie has the recipe saved because she was kind of disappointed. The second time she went to make the sour cream, she couldn't find that recipe, but she did locate a recipe that was pretty close. Really like that, mixing that with there. I also, there's a barbecue sauce that Carrie makes that I have mixed in with the baked potatoes that I really like that as well. And just kind of a funny thing with baked potatoes, just to, because our taste buds have changed and our preferences have changed. And so eating a baked potato without anything on it is very delicious. It actually tastes really good without anything on it. But one of the things that happened on my birthday was a couple friends came over and we were hanging out in the evening, just talking at the kitchen table. And one of my daughters came up and was like, "Hey, can I have one of those baked potatoes?" Because Carrie had baked a bunch of baked potatoes. And we're like, "Yeah, go ahead, have a baked potato." And she went over to the bowl of baked potatoes, grabbed the baked potato out of the bowl, and started eating it like an apple. And my friend like looked at her sideways like, "Is she just eating a baked potato? Like just plain out of the..." And we're like, "Yeah, they're great that way." And that's how I ate them on my trip, was just kind of ate them. I've always been kind of this, I like to have warm food over cold food person. That wasn't an option for me with those baked potatoes, and I still really enjoyed them. I didn't mind them not being warm. They had been in the fridge. Carrie says that, well, yeah, okay, so they're yellow potatoes. Also, it's the type of potatoes, but the yellow potatoes are like mashed potatoes on the inside. Yes, and they were so good. They were. And it was just funny seeing my friend kind of be like, "Did she just eat that like an apple?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's how you eat potatoes." And because we're so accustomed to having a baked potato with all the fixings, have the bacon and the butter and the cheese and the onion and the chili and all kinds of stuff on your baked potato. And so to eat it just plain seems so foreign, but that's how probably most baked potatoes were eaten before 1900, was just plain, just bake them up and eat them. And so traveling Friday was difficult, but I kept some food available to me so I could get through the trip. Saturday I was back home, and Carrie made up a big batch of Spanish rice and beans. The photo of that is somewhere here. I can pull it up quick if you guys would like to see what our rice and beans look like. This is actually the only photo of food that I took the whole weekend. So this is the one photo you guys will get. I had this Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, kind of this, Carrie makes just like an Instapot full of the Spanish rice and beans. And we kind of go at it as we like it. Me and Carrie enjoy it a lot. There's a couple of our kids that do enjoy the Spanish rice and beans as well. So it's kind of nice to just make up a big pot of that in the Instapot, then have it in the container in the fridge so that whenever you do get hungry, you can just kind of eat it up. And I don't feel guilty eating a bowl of rice, beans, and tomatoes. At the end of the day, it's pretty healthy food to eat. no added salt, oil, or sugar. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure that that is the only photo of food that I took. Oh, you know what? Aha! I took photo of the dinner on Friday. I didn't think I took these photos. So this was the sandwich that I had here. And I didn't put it on Ezekiel bread. I put it on the sourdough bread that Carrie has been making. There's no added salt or oil or sugar in the sourdough. There is some flour in there though, if you're trying to avoid flour. But yes, this was the quinoa falafel with a slice of tomato, dill sauce, and lettuce there. That is the whole sandwich put together. Let me see if I can get it to the center of the screen. Oh my gosh. I am failing. There you go. Big zoomed in picture of it. How's that? So, that was the meal that I had on my 40th birthday there. And I think that that was one more photo of the same thing. So I had those photos as well. Do you guys eat Dave's Killer Bread? No, I have not had Dave's Killer Bread. I feel like I've heard the name Dave's Killer Bread. The bread that I eat, or that I allow myself to eat, is this, the sourdough bread that Carrie makes. And then also, the low sodium Ezekiel bread is the type of bread that I eat. But I have heard of Dave's Killer Bread. I'm just trying to think of what it is that is Dave's Killer Bread. 21 whole grain. So it is a whole grain bread. They have raisin bread, epic. Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah. So I have not had that. Carrie might know more about the Dave's Killer Bread than I know about it. I'm just trying to look at it real quick and look at the let's see. There is 170 grams of sodium in it, so that would be what would keep me from eating it. There is sea salt in it. Yes, Carrie says Dave's has salt in it. Our kids love Dave's. White done right, though. She just cannot spend that much money on how much bread they go through. Yes, we buy like this artisan bread from the local grocery stores here that doesn't have any animal products in it. But yeah, our kids like it, and I knew I had heard of it. So I was talking about food on Saturday. Just kind of hung out at the house. I worked in the morning and didn't get home till actually kind of later. But yeah, ended up kind of hanging out on Sunday. And then Sunday was Mother's Day. I hope you guys all had great Mother's Days, or you were able to either celebrate your mother or be celebrated as a mother. For us, we ended up going to my mom's house for Mother's Day because we live close to them, and got together with my brothers and their kids and hung out for the day on Sunday. Carrie had pre-marinated some mushroom caps so that we had mushroom caps to eat while we were there. And then she also brought some Beyond Meat burgers for our kids to eat because everything else was not vegan friendly. And it is difficult for our kids. Thankfully, my parents do know that we eat this way and that we like for our kids to eat a vegan diet. So they do include some, they have some vegan snacks in the house, or snacks that are considered vegan in the house. But on Mother's Day, it was something where we were with the family and we took the mushroom caps and they got the grill going and grilled up the Beyond Meat burgers and the mushroom caps. And also they had cooked their meat and their hot dogs on the grill as well. Carrie says that my mom does make sure that there are lots of fruits and veggies around for us, and potato chips. Yes, regular potato chips. are always available for the kids, and Oreos. They generally have Oreos when they go to grandma's house. The one of the things I've talked about in the past is that when you go to a family thing or you go to an event after you've lost a bunch of weight, people that notice that you've lost weight are going to be kind of watching what you do and curious as to what you do to lose weight. Most of my family knows what I do or what I've done to lose weight, because they only have to talk to me for a few minutes before I start talking, toting the benefits of eating a whole food, plant-based diet. But a lot of times when you have a celebration like Mother's Day or Thanksgiving or some event that you go to, you use that as an excuse to live a little or let go a little bit and have some snacks that you wouldn't normally have. And for me, I feel like that when you go to those events, for me personally, I more have a duty to stick to my diet when I'm in those situations, because I don't want people to get the perception that I lost this weight by eating Oreos or by eating any of the junk food that might be around. I feel like that the best thing that I can do is to be an example in front of people of the right way to eat. And the fact that I can go to a family function and have just as much fun, have just, and have as good a time as everybody else there, and still be able to leave the event saying that I stuck to my diet and I didn't have any issues with doing that. A lot of times I think that you go to these events and you leave those events with this like, oh man, I screwed up. I shouldn't have eaten that candy, or I shouldn't have had that junk. And you just get wrapped up in the moment and you don't really consider it at the time when you're there. But I feel like for me, I want to be a good example for my family, because I do have family members that I really wish would adopt this way of eating. And if I sat there and ate the junk food in front of them, then I feel like they would get the impression that that's part of my diet, and it's not part of my diet. It's very rare that I do eat any junk food. And if I do eat the junk food, I don't eat it in front of people. I would eat it maybe in front of my kids or Carrie, because that I have in the past eaten junk food in the past 9 months in front of them. Carrie said that she did indulge in the potato chips and felt yucky afterwards. Yeah. And and I didn't even know that you had the potato chips. You probably didn't tell me, because I would have given you a hard time about it. But it's tough. I mean, and that's part of that, being prepared, having things there. If we would have brought our own potato chips, if you'd have made your own potato chips that didn't have any salt on them, then you might have gone for those potato chips versus the bag that they had there. But it is tough, I mean, it's tough to be perfect on this diet. And it's you can't hold yourself to that perfect standard completely. Like, you have to be forgiving of those times when you aren't perfect, or that you do indulge in these things. But I feel like it's so easy to just get back on track. It's not a difficult diet to just get back into the next time you eat. It doesn't even have to be the next day. It's really the things that you and like you said, you felt crappy after you had the salt and the oil that were in those chips. And so your body reacts in a way when you add what I would call toxins into your system. And it is good to and it's such just a juxtaposition, I think, is the right of how I feel great all of the time. with this diet. Like, I do not have any lulls in my mood, in my, in, yeah, like I don't have all these chemicals in my body creating these reactions that I don't know what are going to happen. So, but Mother's Day was great. We, had mushroom caps. I did have like 4 mushroom caps, which probably had some salt in them with whatever Carrie, marinates them in, but I let it slide, I suppose, because that's all I had. I wasn't like I was eating any, I guess the other thing I had there was my mom did have grapes. So I did eat some grapes because it had been a little bit since I had grapes and I thought they were good. So, Mother's Day was great. We did that kind of for lunch through the day. And then I think for dinner that night, we ate more of the Spanish rice and beans that I had showed you a photo of, already. Then on Monday, yesterday, I was traveling again. I didn't have to travel as much as I did Friday. There's 1 tablespoon of liquid aminos in the marinade, Carrie says. So however much sodium is in 1 tablespoon, and that is all of the marinade that went across, 6 of them, and probably half of that marinade was still in the bag after we got done cooking the food. So it wasn't like there was a lot. Monday, I got up at 5:30 and actually got home about 5:30. So I did about 12 hours of travel on Monday. I brought different food because I had eaten through all the cashews and I had eaten through all the mangoes and I didn't have any potatoes. I didn't take any food with me on Monday. I did not take any food with me on Monday, but what I did do is when I got to lunchtime, I went to a grocery store in the town that I was in and I bought a 5-pound bag of oranges for like $8 because they're just ridiculously expensive for the mandarin or they're tiny oranges that are easy to peel. I don't know what they're called, tangerines or mandarin oranges. I bought a 5-pound bag of those and I bought like 4 Lara bars. I bought like a blueberry Lara bar, banana bread, apple pie Lara bar. I think, yeah. And I might have bought 2 of one of those. I can't remember now, but I bought a few Lara bars, bought a bag of oranges. And then throughout the second half of the day, anytime I got hungry, I just grabbed an orange out of the bag. Probably of the 5-pound bag of oranges, I ate 2.5 pounds of them on the travel during the second half of the day. They're so good. Easy to peel. Just you pop them in your mouth. It's just this shot of sugar and yeah, they're awesome. So, and they're in season, I believe, which is why they're so expensive, I guess. But I did get a good bag of them, and that is what I ate while I was traveling on Monday. I did get home in time for dinner. Carrie had made the mega veggie chili that we really like. She did add in some chopped up mushrooms this time, which was nice to have the chopped up mushrooms. It's really funny. There's so many different vegetables in the mega veggie chili that I don't know that I would say that I could like, that it didn't really change the flavor profile of the food by having the mushrooms in there. But I just like mushrooms. So it was good to have that for dinner on Monday night. Yeah, I kind of already mentioned it, but one of the things that they talk about in the Pleasure Trap book is that when you are traveling or at all times, you should have some sort of snack bag in your car. Whether it's something you put in there daily when you get in your car to drive, or you have some foods in there, maybe like Lara bars that can sit in your car without needing to, that are shelf stable for a little bit. But that way, when you're traveling and you get desperate, you don't make bad decisions on your food choices because you already have made the decision that your food's there. Like if you get hungry, I'll just grab a Lara bar, like that's an easy decision to make. versus I'm hungry. What am I going to do? Well, I guess I'm going to go to a fast food restaurant and get food. And this way, you have that option. Another book that is really good about talking about traveling and eating a whole food plant-based diet is Chef AJ's book, The Secret to Ultimate Weight Loss. She has a whole chapter or section of the book that is dedicated to traveling while eating a whole food plant-based diet. And it does have a lot of great ideas, especially if you're doing like overnights or that you're going to be going to restaurants and things like that. That book is really helpful for those options. Let me see. I'm going to be weighing in tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can get back under 300 and that I'll be under 300 pounds. I knew that I would bounce up a little bit because I did fast for 2 days. I fasted Tuesday and Wednesday of last week, and I weighed in Thursday. I did that fasting so that I could give myself the best shot of getting under 300 pounds. So I knew I would bounce up a little bit. I'm hoping that I'll be under 300 tomorrow again. I get on the scale every day. I believe that it is, if your goal is to lose weight, if that's your priority is weight loss, then measuring your weight loss daily, I believe, is beneficial. That's something that they do discuss in How Not to Diet, the Michael Greger book that I read, that a lot of studies have shown that the more often that people weigh in, the greater success they have with weight loss. I kind of like to compare it to like if you were a banker or you were a financial advisor and your goal was to make as much money as possible or have as much money as possible. You wouldn't just check your bank account once a week or once a month. You would check your bank account daily, or you would check your stocks daily to make sure that they're going in the direction that you want. And if they're not, then you would make adjustments to make them go in the direction you would like to go into. Shai says, you like trying to become a faster runner without ever timing your... Yeah, it's like trying... Exactly. Yeah, it'd be the same thing. If it would be just... and right, over time, you probably will get faster, but you won't know if you got that much faster. And from day one to today, it'd be obvious that you're faster, but from the end of month 1 to the end of month 2, if you didn't measure, you wouldn't know. So yes, I feel like it's a good practice to keep track of that, but don't let it affect your mood such that it ruins your day. For me, I use it as a tool. I know today that I need to make smart choices about the food that I make in the next 24 hours if I want to have the results on the scale that I'm looking to have. And I believe that it is a great resource to have, and it's easy to do. It doesn't take much time to get on the scale, and if you have to do it at the same time, and if you want to give yourself, I weigh in at 4:00 in the afternoon on Wednesday in front of everybody. So it's much different than what most people do. A lot of people, they get up, they go to the bathroom, and then first thing they do is weigh in after they go to the bathroom, generally without any clothes on, so that the weight is as low as possible. And for me, that is kind of where that mood part of it comes in. Like, you're trying everything to give yourself the to be the lowest possible weight. And to me, I want to be the lowest possible weight, but I don't need to do every trick in the book every time I weigh in so that I get as low as possible. I weigh in, and last week at my weigh-in, I was wearing shorts every other weigh-in pretty much for the last 6 to 9 months. And, between last summer and last Thursday, I was wearing pants. Sometimes I have short sleeve shirts on. Sometimes I have long sleeve shirts on. Sometimes the shirts are heavy. Sometimes they're light. And so there is a slight difference that I have in the clothing I wear, but again, I don't let it discourage me if I gain a little bit of, if I go up a little bit from one day to the next. but I do take actions to course correct myself when I see things are going in a direction I don't like. And I also have kind of the system down that I weigh in on Wednesday, I eat kind of normal through the weekend, and then Monday morning, that's when I have to start making those smart choices again. And I know throughout the weekend that I can't just go wild, because I'll be really kind of frustrated Monday when I come in. If I go wild over the weekend, then it's going to make Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday more difficult, I guess is a better way to say it. And so I try to rein it in or keep it as I don't know. I try not to go too wild on the weekends. I don't do a great job if I'm at home the whole time, though. Again, anything that I eat that's junk food would be considered health food to what I would have been eating 18 months ago, or what most people consider as junk food. The most unhealthy thing I eat is still more healthy than anything I would ever have even considered eating 18 months ago. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for today. A couple things. I did have a huge influx of followers in the past week, so I appreciate all of the followers that have joined the family in the past week. Part of the reason for that is because of something I have going on tomorrow. Let me see if my phone is still connected to the system. I think I'm going to have to reconnect it. I've been really happy with how this diet has been going over the past year and a half. And I created this channel as a way to reach people. And about 4 months ago, I reached out to Chef AJ to see if I would be able to come on to her show and to share my story and my experiences. And she was gracious enough to allow me onto her show. I will be on tomorrow's broadcast. There is my lovely face right there. Wednesday, May 11th. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time. And so for me, that's going to be like 1 p.m. my time. And so I will be going live on her show tomorrow. I honestly don't know everything that we're going to be talking about, or anything that we're going to be talking about. I just kind of set a bio and my story from at that point 14 months into this diet. And now I'm a little bit lighter. I've lost another 10 or 15 pounds since that time, or 20 pounds, I guess, since that time. And I'm just hoping to kind of talk about how awesome eating this way has been, and how much it has changed my life. It's changed Carrie's life. It's changed my family's life. Shy saying congrats. Thanks. I'm looking forward to being able to talk on her platform and to reach more people, and hopefully get some more people to come over to this channel. Let me know how they're doing on their diets, and kind of join our family of people that have been following along with this. So look out for me on Chef AJ's show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm looking forward to that. Again, I appreciate everybody that has been following me and all of the new followers. I will be going live at my normal time tomorrow, doing my weigh-in at my normal time tomorrow. And hopefully, if I do have a bunch of new people watching tomorrow's stream after I go live with her, I can still be under 300 pounds. It's a little bit nerve-wracking that I hit that milestone. Now I have to maintain that milestone. But I think I'll be close, or I'll be good. Carrie says, come home and play soccer. It is so hot out today. I don't know if I can do that. But I can cheer you on while you play soccer. I'm really good at cheering people on, Carrie. So I am going to get out of here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Click the like button. Click the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health and your overall well-being. Nobody ever reaches their goals, looks back and says, I wish I would have waited. Every single person looks back and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known how good I was feeling, or that I was going to feel. I would have started sooner. I'm the same way. I'm not even to my goal yet. And I look back and I say, man, I wish I would have started this sooner, because I'd be further along than I am now. Also, don't fall for the 2 myths of moderation. The myth of moderate change, the idea that you can slowly, gradually work into a healthy diet. For some people, that's what they do. I don't know. But in general, if your goal is to completely change to this new diet, all you're doing by delaying that change is slowing down the process. And a lot of times you end up quitting before you make the full conversion, because something changes or something happens and you slip, and then that slip leads into 2 days of slipping to 3 days of slipping, and then you just go back to your old diet. So don't fall for the myth of moderate change and the myth of moderate consumption. The idea that a little bit of something unhealthy is still that is okay it's just a bad thinking. It's like an alcoholic saying that, oh, well, if you just have 1 shot of whiskey, that'll be okay. That doesn't work for somebody that has these addictions to things like salt, oil, and sugar. If you allow yourself to eat a little bit of that stuff, then you are saying, I'm okay with I'm okay with being a little less healthy than I could be. Also, the idea that you can eat smaller portions of food, that I can just eat 1,200 calories and I'll eat half of what I used to eat and I'll be satisfied. It works for a short period of time, but in the long run, your body catches up to you and says, hey bud, we need some more substance. And once you give that food the substance one time, it really starts to nag at you to keep going and going. And then eventually you fall back into your old habits again. I've done it many times. I'm sure many of you have done it many times as well. So I'm out of here, guys. Everybody have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow, either on Chef AJ's show or my own live stream.